So we made use of the attendance. So even attendance was
Ecuador has just scored the first goal of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Courtesy of Valencia. Just within 3 minutes. And it's also a goal, yeah. Normally. Drive.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, fire, and that is why this tournament is for the youth. And football also is a unifying factor. Whether it's Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, we hear football, everybody comes alive. And what it means, it's another goal.
What a moment there in the world of sport. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Akanni. Time to take you around the world of sport, looking at those activities trending there. Well, fantastic one, looking at those talented footballers doing their best. And when it comes to sport, Nigeria, we've got the talent. All we need to do is to just get it right. Well, we'll be looking at the first story. A lot of stories we'll be looking at, but we know that the biggest story right now has to do with Éric Chelle, the new man to take over with Super Eagles. That's the story that has been trending since that particular announcement was made by the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF. Well, right now, some Nigerians say, okay, it's good enough. Some say it's not good enough, supporting and all that. It's a kind of a divided house right now. Well, from the way it is, well, it's an open one because at least between now and October, let's see what he'll be offering. Can he do it? Can we qualify for the World Cup? And then we see maybe he can take us to AFCON. And also, we heard that it could be the one to take over the Chan Eagles too. So Nigeria are not too happy that after Ogumodede and Fidelis Electrical did the job. Well, right now, as it is, NFL is trying to give a free hand to operate. We look at the first story before we unveil our guest who is actually standing by there. Super Eagles former Lagos FA chairman Waidi Akanni calls for support for Éric Chelle. Right now, a lot of Nigerians, like I said, are supporting him. That okay, he has been given the job. Let's support him with all that he needs to at least excel with Super Eagles teams, both Team A and B or main team and the Chan team. Right now, coming from Waidi Akanni, former FA, Lagos FA chairman, they are saying Nigerians should just rally around Éric Chelle, see how he can do well, and give me all the support that he needs in all areas or all facets of life as the man resume. It will be unveiled on Monday, and right now we heard that he could be coming with 3 assistants that will be supporting him. And right now, NFF also released that $50,000 is the amount of money expected to pay the Malian. Though he has about 3 nationalities, he can claim to be a Cote d'Ivoire or be a Frenchman and also be a Malian, although he's a Malian right now. So as it is, and also his assistant will be getting $5,000 there. The 3 assistants, each person will go for $5,000. Why he get $50,000 per month? That's about 84 million naira. But right now, let's at least quickly unveil our guest. Then we run through all the stories, looking at the first story together alongside Nazir Jamajo is actually standing by from Kaduna. Good to have you, Nazir Jamajo.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to appreciate that jersey you are wearing. That's Wicked Tourist, a typical Nigerian, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm always a Wikitoris man, so you see me with my Wikitoris talks all over the place. I'll always be wearing it.
That's a good one. Hopefully, I can get mine from Wikitoris. I'm using styles also ask.
Yeah, no problem. Work on that. Work on that. No problem. Work on that.
Okay. Good one. Let's run through the first story just at least unveiled there. Has to do with Éric Chelle, the man that has been appointed by Nigerian Football Federation to take over. And now, according to former Lagos FA chairman Waidi Akanni, says, well, all we need now is to support Éric Chelle for him to succeed with Super Eagles. Where are you standing? Are you for A or you are for B?
You know, I always support the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and whoever they bring in, I'll always be on board because it's for the benefit of the team. Like, the most important thing right now is to support. We just need to support the Super Eagles of Nigeria and whoever comes in, because there is a massive, massive job waiting for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in this year. Talking of the World Cup qualifiers that will be conducted in the next couple of months, and then from now up to until the end of the year, it is serious business all over the matches that the Super Eagles will be playing. So we only have one option in this country right now: to support whoever is going to handle the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And I am on board 110% when it comes to backing Éric Chelle to get things done with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Already, I love his confidence. I like the way he has approached things, signing a short-term contract that gives him confidence that, look, I know what I see in the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and I'm confident that I'm going to get the job done, qualify the team, and then maybe give him a 2 or 3 years contract, and then we'll see how far he's going to take the Super Eagles of Nigeria during the course of that time.
Okay, talking about the contract, we know that it's going to be a short one till October. That's for the qualifiers. And now looking at the fact that we are standing fifth on the log, just behind Rwanda, South Africa, Benin Republic. And that's a big one, 3 points from 4 matches. And this man has taken over. He will be there. And Nigerians are a bit skeptical because it's going to be a tough one. We're playing Rwanda match. You look at it back to back. You look at those games and you look at what can we do? Can we scale through? Can we make it under Éric Chelle? And someone say, okay, they should have allowed Iguavo to continue. And someone say, okay, from the way it is, if you can qualify us, then maybe that will give him the chance to take us to AFCON. I like the way it's being structured, at least from now till October, when that the phase of qualifier would actually take run. If he's able to do it, then that would be like a pass mark for him, or yardstick for him to be able to at least take us to AFCON. And if he doesn't do that, that's another way of restructuring the contract. But really, Éric Chelle, if you look at the antecedents of this man with Mali team, he got in the quarterfinal before they were dropped by Côte d'Ivoire, the eventual winner of the competition. And also, while as a footballer, a lot of history behind his career as a footballer and also as a coach. But some people are really saying where he has not been able to achieve some things, maybe winning a tournament or that. But to some extent, maybe you just give him a chance. Let's see what he can offer, right?
Yeah, of course, he deserves the chance. He deserves the chance, to be honest with you. And most importantly, I think to some extent, I agree with the fact that sometimes the amount of good players you have in your team will give you the chance to express how good you are too also on the pitch when it comes to the manager situation. In Europe right now, Pep Guardiola spent a lot of money before he had the success he had with Manchester City. So many managers, even Jurgen Klopp, who came into Liverpool, even the great Sir Alex Ferguson, has spent to sign players for Manchester United before achieving success. So the players determines how good you can go or how far you can go in achieving success. And I think in this continent, talking of the African continent entirely, as of right now, there is no team that has got better players than the one the Super Eagles of Nigeria have got. I think this is the perfect platform for Éric Chelle to come and show what he's good at. And I can remember when Nigeria played against Mali before the Africa Cup of Nations, he was the first person that pointed out that the Super Eagles defenders are slow. That was how he instructed his own players to run behind the Super Eagles defense. And Nigeria lost that game by 2-0. And from that moment, Joseph Peseiro pointed out the fact that he needs to use 3 defenders so that the Super Eagles can defend very deep when it comes to defending their own, the back line, so that when they defend deep, you don't have spaces to run in behind and cause problems. And that was how we went to the final of the Africa Cup of Nations, and that was how we did well when it comes to the qualifying of the AFCON. Even Austin Eguavoen used that system to take Nigeria to the Africa Cup of Nations. And the last game, that was when he decided to keep aside that, three center backs, system. And that was how the Super Eagles lost that game. We know how that took us, and we know how, this thing has worked for us. So Éric Chelle has already pointed out that before he even got the job. And right now, we have the best African player when it comes to attacking positions. Talking of Ademola Lookman, he collected it from Victor Osimhen. So as far as I'm concerned, in attack, we have two of the best players in the last 2 years in the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And every good coach will tell you one thing, that whenever a team goes into the final third, there is nothing he can do. The only thing he can do is just to construct the team to bring the ball into that final third, and their players can show qualities that even the manager doesn't know about. So one thing is that if Éric Chelle can get that business done, I think the Super Eagles will be in safe hands, and we only need to support him right now to show these qualities that he has, because already there are cry outs that he's a Malian, we are bringing him, and he's going to, handle the Super Eagles in a very difficult situation. He's not from the country and stuff. What has even the coaches that we have in this country did for us? Take out the late Stephen Keshi. The rest of them, we cannot point out a single thing that any of us has done for us. So let's give a chance to this man. Let him come in, do his job, give him time, and we see. By the time the World Cup qualifiers are done, then we get to judge how far has the Super Eagles gone, how do they play, what do the team has improved from the time he took over, from the time that the qualifiers are done. And I'm confident in this man that is going to get the job done. And when you look at his team in the Africa Cup of Nations, talking of the Malians, whenever you talk of the Malians and the Africa Cup of Nations, the only thing that comes to the mind of Nigerians is the time that his team got knocked out in the Africa Cup of Nations, and water was being poured in his head, and everybody will laugh about it and say, how is that man good? But when you know football, you watch that team, you know that they create chances, they play very well, and they are very, very composed. And one thing they only failed in that Africa Cup of Nations is how to convert chances. They failed so very much in that area. And the Super Eagles, we have, just like I pointed out earlier, two of the best forwards in the last 2 years, two of the best players in the last 2 years in this continent. So we are in safe position right now when it comes to handling this thing. I think Éric Chelle has got the perfect platform right now to show what he can do in African football.
Okay, good one, Nazir Jamajo. Now, that takes us to our second story. Let's have it, because some Nigerians are really divided about this. And now let's look at the second story. That has to do with Kadri Ikhana, talking about Éric Chelle, not better than Nigerian coaches. He kind of blast NFF over appointment. To him, he said it's terrible that they could go for Éric Chelle, looking at his record and all this achievement in football, that he believes that if they have allowed Iguavon or Amuneke or any other Nigerian coaches, they could have done better than this. And you still remember that this Nigerian coaching over there in the US, I think US under 19 thereabout, who also show interest sometimes back. Really looking at the fact that maybe they could have considered, in fact, they almost look alike a bit. But as it is, do you stand with this statement? Éric Chelle, not better than Nigerian coaches?
No, I don't stand with this statement. I don't really stand with it. Okay. And that is where the problem starts. We don't support this man, and that is our number one problem right now in this country. We need to support this man. Éric Chelle, that is why I love football. Football is a game of opinion. Everybody has got his own opinion. But one thing is that sometimes you need to give chance to know of how good this man is. We know of Emmanuel Amuneke, and even him, what has he done for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Even Austin Ogavonda has been mentioned continuously. We know the NFL brought him in to just come and stable the ship so that the team can qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. They know the job is bigger than him. In 2003, he failed us when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup. In 2022, he failed us again. Are we going to give him another chance to fail us again and make sure that he rubs, mud in our faces when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup? I don't really think Austin Ogavon deserves another chance when it comes to this qualification stuff. He should just give way. Nobody should even be mentioning him when it comes to football in this country. At least he has done a wonderful job, to be honest with you, when it comes to qualifying this team. He took the team from Finidi George after the problems that we had, and then he made sure that he qualified the team to the African Cup of Nations, which we needed the most. Because we have missed the World Cup, we know that everybody's eyes will be on the team to qualify for the African Cup of Nations at least, and do well in that tournament. So at the end of the day, he just got that job done, and thank God he did it. We congratulate him, and we are happy that he got that job done. But this statement of Éric Chelle not better than any Nigerian coaches, I don't even believe that. I think in Nigeria, if we go deep, I doubt if we find any manager that has got what Éric Chelle has got on his CV. This man is earning $70,000 in his team in Oman. He left that job to come to the Super Eagles and earn $50,000, which I understand because coaching the Super Eagles of Nigeria comes with a lot of things. Once you have the Super Eagles on your CV when it comes to African national teams, I think that is that is how high you can go when it comes to handling team in this country. That is the end of it. So Éric Chelle coming in deserves only the support of people in this country. These statements are not going to help anything. We're in a very crucial period. The World Cup qualifiers is coming, and after that, the Africa Cup nations will be coming. In which in the Africa Cup nations, we are in a very tight position right now. We need to win games. So let's support him. Let's see what he can do, and then we judge.
Okay, now while we're talking about support, news also came out that they could be taking over the Chan Eagles, where they will be playing that's talking about Chan competition coming up February 1st to 28th in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Do you see that? Because some Nigerians are really saying, okay, agreed, take over Super Eagles, qualify them for World Cup should be the priority right now. They should let him forget about Chan. Let Ogumodede and Ilechukwu, who has been doing a wonderful job, continue with that team. Where do you stand about this particular situation?
Yeah, I think they should continue with the team because they have been there and they know the NPFL. And him, for the first time, is just coming into Nigeria and having the taste of football in this country. He has no knowledge of the NPFL, and that is why you get to take players to the Chan, championship that is being played right there. I think it's a good decision. They should handle it and let him just focus on the Super Eagles of Nigeria because the job there is bigger than what we would be expecting in the Chan, to be honest with you.
Now, seriously, I think NFF should just allow this man to focus on Super Eagles. Forget about Chan, Ilechukwu, and Ogumodede should be able to do that. After all, they'll be able to qualify there. Let them continue, and let's see where their swan song will actually get them to in this competition. Well, for Éric Chelle, as it is right now, the big task at this test right now is how to qualify Nigeria for the World Cup. A big one, a huge Herculean task. From March, then we'll see what he wants to offer Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are waiting. March is just very close, and we'll see what we'll be playing against Rwanda and other teams that will be facing in the qualifiers. Between that time and October, we'll be able to assess him and see what he has been able to achieve. Then maybe the extension of the contract, if he's able to qualify for the World Cup. After all, AFCON will be starting by December, so that's an opportunity for him to also take us to AFCON and see maybe this time around we can scoop it by turning things around. For Éric Chelle, Nigerians are waiting for what he needs to or he has to offer for this our team Super Eagles. They are taking the two stories with Nazim Jamajo, who actually joined us from Kaduna. They are a big one, and right now separating us away from Eagles. Let's come and talk about our own league. And you can see the jersey he's wearing. That's Wiki Tourist of Bauchi, the jersey that's Nazim Jamajo is donning there. Now we're talking about their coach, Abdul Meikaba. Meikaba has been with so many clubs in the MPFL. Now he's with NNL team called Wiki Tourist of Bauchi, and according to him, he's actually trying to reaffirm his commitment to Wiki Tourist FC's NPFL return. He wants to get them back to the mainframe of league football in Nigeria. That's his priority right now, coming from Abdul Meikaba. Well, the Bauchi man, let me use that word for you, Jamajo. Your team, at least according to the coach, Meikaba wants to make sure he wants to get them back. Their next match is going to be against Jigawa Golden Stars, and he's already talking tough that he wants to make sure they win that game, and he's trying to see how we can drag them back to the mainframe of league football in Nigeria.
Yeah, that is what I like it. That is what I like to hear. That is what I want to hear. This is music into my ears right now when it comes to what Abdul Meikaba is saying about the Wiki Tourist side. Because we need to come back into the NPFL. We need to get back there. Because that is where we belong, to be honest with you. I grew up watching Wiki Tourist in the NPFL, not watching them in the NNL or NNL or anywhere. I only grew up watching Wiki Tourist play in the NPFL. So I would love to see my daily team back there. Because we have suffered over the course of the year. And last season, we were very, very close to coming back into the NPFL. Unfortunately for us, we actually caved in the last minute. So hopefully this year, with what Abdul Meikaba is saying, and somebody with serious experience when it comes to playing in the NPFL and all of these Nigerian leagues, I just hope he sticks to his word, he get the job done. He has won the NPFL so many times. Just like you said earlier, he has handled so many teams. And Wiki Tourist is one of them that he handled back in the years when we were in our good days, playing very well, winning matches, securing continental tickets as of that time. But right now we are so behind that kind of level right now. So hopefully Abdul Mekaba will be the one that is going to start that kind of, resurgence of getting Wikitoris back, rejuvenate us and get us back into the NPFL. I think if he does that, that would be a whole lot of things that he's going to do for the Wikitoris side right there. I think when I heard of the, talks of him coming back to Wikitoris, I was so happy because as of that time, nobody knew that he was the man that is going to handle this season. But you can see the start they had in the league. They had a very, very good start. And thanks to him of what he's doing with this team. And when I watched them in the preseason too, I was impressed with the kind of football that the team was playing as of that time. And even at the start of the league season, I think they have been doing very, very well. Hopefully, at the end of the season, we will not cave under any pressure. The pressure will not get the best out of us. We'll qualify even before the closing stages of the league, and we'll get the job done.
Jamajo, the way you're talking now, I understand that, yes, you want your team to qualify, but seriously, you mentioned something while you were talking that you were very, very close to making it to MPFL last season, but it didn't happen. So this time we're expecting that to happen. I hope you are not copying us now.
No, we are not. We are not Arsenal. We are not Arsenal. Forget about the red jersey, please. Forget about it. We are not Arsenal. We can never be Arsenal. Yes, we are Wikitoris and we are going to come back. We are going to qualify. We cannot be the next year club. No, not at all. We will qualify. Hopefully, inshallah, we'll be back in the NPFL.
Okay, well, you are actually throwing jab to Arsenal by saying you are not a next year club. Well, they will answer you.
Yes.
Don't worry. They will come for you.
Yes.
Anyway.
No problem. I'm ready for anybody's answer.
Okay, for Wikitoris of Bauchi, as it is right now, according to their coach Abdul Meikaba, he's trying to see how he's reaffirming his commitment to see how that team will do well and at least move to the MPFL. That's the main thing on his mind. And according to Nazir Jamal, is also a very staunch supporter of Wikitoris. He's really trying to see how they can make it back and let them continue to see good football over there in Bauchi State. And at least one of the foremost club when it comes to playing the MPFL, Wikitoris of Bauchi. That name always ring bell anytime you think of football in Nigeria, especially in the north, one of those foremost clubs there. Well, from that particular story, let's just talk about an MPFL team who did well yesterday. They were able to win their game against Nasarawa United. Eyimba International, they did well, where Ideye and Atule, they were able to score those 2 goals for them as they won and inspired Eyimba International to victory against the Solid Miners. That game actually favored them because they were able to get the 3 points at stake. Atule scoring in the 45th minute before they added another one in the 61st minute. Well, for Anas Yusuf, he was able to pull one back for the Solid Miners, Nasarawa United, but it wasn't good enough as they lost out in that encounter. So a good one for Eyimba International. As it is right now, they begin to crawl back, standing 7th on the log. If you look at the way it is right now on the log table, they are now 7th, and really they still have 2 matches to play. And that will actually do them a lot of favor. If they are able to win those 2 games, Eyimba will actually be standing 3rd on the log, at least closing the gap against all the big teams so far, making waves in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Right now, let's quickly reach out to Jamajo. Jamajo, you look at that game, Eyimba versus Nasarawa United, looking at the poor runs they've had before this game, but now they seem to be getting their groove back. They are doing better, and they are beginning to get used to the new coach, Stanley Eguma, who is really stamping his feet on that particular team now, and they begin to climb up, and little by little now they are standing 7th, and that shows that with the remaining 2 matches they are yet to play, they could actually go places by the time they win those games.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the time that Eyimba do get, their mojo right and they start winning games. I think they have done it not once, not twice. They have done it a couple of times in the NPFL, where when it comes to the second stanza of the league, that is where they get to perform. I think Eyimba are beginning to, recover and start going, because mostly at the start of the season, they always get involved in the continental tournaments, the Confederations Cup, sometimes the CAF Champions League. And at the end of the day, they have outstanding matches. And when they come and win those outstanding matches, they will be in a very good position. I think Eyimba are beginning to do that because this is their time. And once they get their mojo right, at the end of the day, you know what happens. They blew everybody apart, win their games, and be in a very good position. I will not be surprised if they come back and contest for this league title, because it is far from over when you have Eyimba behind you in this Nigeria Professional Football League. They are like the Manchester City of the NPFL. Whenever it comes to the second stanza, that is where you see their best.
Okay, talking about that particular team, Eyimba International, very experienced team, most respected team in the MPFL. Now, let's quickly take a look at the table, how it is, and you look at the fact that they've been able to climb up, and now look at them on seventh position with 27 points, alongside Abia Warriors, their brother from the Oriental side of Nigeria. And right now, they have a 6 as their goal difference behind Ikorodu City, Akanni Warriors, Enugu Rangers, Shooting Star of Ibadan, Rivers United, and Remo Stars. You look at the points, 36 to 27. It's not as if it's much, just 9. You look at it, 9 points behind, and they have 2 more matches, which if they are able to win, they should be having like 33 points, standing about 3rd or 4th if you look at it mathematically. That is a good one coming for Eyimba after all the time they had that was not going well under their former coach Yemi Olarewaju. So as it is, Jamajo, Eyimba is climbing up bit by bit.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. And this table tells us all we need to know about how far they can go when they get to win their outstanding matches. But sometimes, in football, games in hand are not points in hand. We can calculate with that, and we can also look at the other side if they get to lose one of those games or draw one of those games. But I at least expect them to win at least one of those 2 games that they have in hand. And winning that game will take them at least to 5th. And we have got like another 18 to 19 matches that every team is going to play. So that puts them in a very good position when it comes to challenging for this title. Like I said earlier, I'll not be surprised if Eyimba come back, win games, and challenge for the title at the end of the season. This is not the first time that I'm seeing Eyimba coming from behind and, winning their outstanding games and find themselves in a very good position. And next season too, you will find them in a very good position. After playing in the the Confederations Cup and maybe the Champions League, if they get involved, they will come back and be in a very good position again and still blew teams away in the league. So that is Eyimba.
Eyimba International has so much respect that they actually command in Nigerian football, and really they have a lot of history behind them, and hopefully, like Jamajo actually opined, they could climb up and challenge for the MPFL title. Who says they can if they are able to win the remaining 2 games outstanding, and then they move up the ladder and begins to see how they can wrestle power from the likes of Remo Stars, Rivers United, Shooting Stars, Enugu Rangers, and the likes, who are up there trying to see how they can win the league. Well, the second stanza is starting very soon, and right now, well, all the teams are really trying to see how they can do well in the second stanza, because they have more 19 matches to play again in the second stanza of this marathon race in the MPFL. If you glance to the left, the bottom side of the table, looking at the way it is right now, Akwa United, Nasarawa United, 19 points. Lobby Stars, Plateau United in that order. It's really very, very surprising what is happening to these 4 teams this season. Plateau United, they have 20 points. Lobby, Akwa, Nasarawa, Jamajo. I'm sure you are surprised too, looking at these big teams. Although the gap between all the teams are not much, but it's just very surprising to see mostly the team from the North Central side, Plateau United, Lobby, and Nasarawa, really wallowing at the bottom of the table.
Exactly. I think things have not been very good for all of these teams, and I'm surprised so much with Plateau United, to be honest. Plateau United is not the kind of team that we used to find in this kind of position when it comes to the NPFL. They always do well. Even if they are struggling, you find them mid-table, but not in this part of the bottom table, to be honest with you. Sitting 17 with only 20 points in 19 games is very, very poor. And look at these stars too. They have performed in recent years very, very well. And look at the position that they are, sitting 18th in the league table with 20 points from 19 games. It is very, very bad. And Nasarawa United too, oh my God. They have just 19 points in 19 games, and they've got a goal difference of -7. That is very, very poor from this, side of Nasarawa United. Akwa United too, they have done well. All of them, is really sad to see them here. And one thing with football is that all this boils down to their preparation. When you go back and look at their preparation, you see that they prepared in a very bad way, and it's like they are not ready for the schedule and the amount of games they'll be facing in the NPFL, but they still have a chance to stay in the league because the second stanza is coming anytime soon, and they have got another big margin of games to play. If they get to win at least 10 of those games, they will be in a very good position, but because that gives them another 30 available points, so 30 points will take them into at least close to 40 or maybe 50, then they'll be in a very good position. They will stay in the NPFL. But sometimes winning is not by saying it in the mouth, it's by doing it. They are better said than done. So let's see if they can do it. But they are in a very good position to react and do well in all of these games that they have got and still stay in the NPFL. Because right now, relegation is looming.
Well, a big one there, looking at all those things, trying to see how they can even survive. For the second stanza, that will be very tough because it's as if the way it is this season, it's not really going too well with those teams we mentioned, Plateau, Lobby, Nasarawa United, even Aqua United, despite getting Kennedy Baboye. But let's see what we're offering those teams. We're talking about the MPFL, Ayimba International, stylishly climbing up the ladder to make the big boys. After all, they have a lot of history behind them. And from there, let's cross over and quickly touch on United Kingdom, looking at their own English football, the league there, the League Cup semi-final, first leg that was played yesterday. Tottenham Hotspur being able to do well. They peeped Liverpool 1-0, and you have Big Val being able to score that goal. Well, that was a match that, although a tough one it was going to be because no one underrates that Tottenham Hotspur at all. So as it is, Liverpool, they lost the first leg right now. Do you see them coming back to turn things around?
Yeah, of course, because they are going to the Anfield. If it was at Anfield that Liverpool lost this game by a goal to nil, then I would say, they have got a big mountain to climb when it comes to playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But away from home, and with how we have seen Liverpool play this season, I think they have got a very big chance. And yesterday they played with a little bit of carelessness because they know the second leg is going to be at Anfield, and they play with lack of composure on the ball, lack of confidence, and lack of so many things. Because this season, one thing that Liverpool have strived on is the quality they have on the ball. And yesterday, there wasn't the quality on the passing, nothing like close to quality on the passing yesterday for Liverpool, and they couldn't control the game. And they have tried this season in controlling games and being controlled, measured in all of the games that they have played this season. I think they were very, very poor yesterday. And entirely, it was a poor game. At the end of the day, Tottenham, who have been the most poor side, I think, among the two sides, won the game and then put themselves in a very good position, and that puts Ange Postecoglou in a very good position when it comes to fulfilling his promise of winning a cup in his second year. At least gets them something and end their wait for a trophy in 17 years. But they are on course for that since they have won the first leg. But there is a huge game waiting for them at Anfield, next month, because they have to win that game to qualify. If they don't win it, then at the end of the day, Liverpool might. And yesterday, Liverpool lacked so many things. And after you come off a demanding game like the one they had against Manchester United, we expect this kind of performance to come your way. And it did came Liverpool's way yesterday, and they couldn't do anything about it. But I can put my money on Liverpool that they will qualify when it comes to the second leg when they play against them next month at Anfield.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, like you said. But seriously, I expect Tottenham Hotspur to also put on a good fight against Liverpool in that second leg. Doesn't matter if they are playing home as it is. Well, even they were trying to gun for all the treble, but the leg is shaking. And for Arsenal versus Newcastle, do you see them coming back?
Yeah, as Arsenal too have got a long way to go, because just like I said earlier, if Liverpool had lost this game at Anfield, it would have been difficult for them to qualify. But Arsenal lost at the Emirates. They lost at the Emirates, and next month they will still be without Bukayo Saka, and maybe some of the players they have got will recover and come back. But that doesn't give them the guarantee that they can go to St. James Park and beat Newcastle United. This season they have went to the St. James Park and they lost by a goal to nil. Courtesy to the same man that scored against them, Alexander Isak. He scored also as of that game. And this man is informed right now. If Newcastle United can carry this form, they know even a draw can do the job for them. Or maybe score a single goal and they relax. Because truth be told, Arsenal this season has struggled to score goals against their opponents. They have scored only one goal in 7 of their games, and they have not scored in 6 of those games. Then that is a problem for any team that wants to win trophies, that want to contest for the title in the Premier League. That is a big problem. So Mikel Arteta have got a very big issue to solve when it comes to scoring goals. If he can
let's take it
solve that issue very, very quickly, then maybe Arsenal might have something to look at in this game at the end of the day.
Okay, well, Nazim Jamajo, as it is right now, you're actually standing with Liverpool and standing with Newcastle United, stylishly, especially you are standing with Liverpool, that they will qualify. Let's wait and see. Maybe it's going to be vice versa.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see what happens by the time the second leg comes up. Really a big one there for Arsenal. They really need to have to do well if they are to really do well, progress in that competition. Now, let's quickly touch on Spanish football. Supercopa. Barcelona, they are just waiting for whoever qualifies between Real Madrid and a tough one there, very tough one. They're just waiting because right now they've been able to do it. They defeated Athletic Club 2-0. Lamine Yamal and also is well, partner in crime, let me use that word. When it comes to football, the young lads over there in Barcelona are really doing so well. You can't take anything away from them. Now, looking at these particular stories together, Jamal Joe, see Barcelona, they are really ready for this, and they are waiting. Who wins? Mallorca, Real Madrid, that's what they are waiting for, so that the final can come up between them and whoever they are facing. But right now, they've done the business of defeating Athletic Club 2-0 to qualify for the final.
Yeah, I think a good start for them to the year because they have beaten Barbastro by 4-0, and then 2 yesterday they defeated Athletic Club by 2-0. A very good start for Barcelona to the year after the struggles they had at the end of last year. Because they struggled, I can remember that performance up and down against Atletico Madrid in my head, where they struggled so much in that game. They created so many chances, but they couldn't convert them. And even yesterday, Lewandowski struggled in front of the goal to score his goals, and wherever you see him, you see that he's struggling to even sometimes run, to even get himself into positions. But it was a complete performance from Barcelona. Defensively, they were very good, and they stick to the idea of the manager to make sure that they play that hide and stuff and keep their opponents on offside positions. And they have kept, Inaki Williams so many times in those offside positions. And at the end of the day, they got the job done. And kudos to Lamine Yamal. At 17, he's playing this well, doing this kind of, putting in this kind of performances, scoring goals in big games and making sure that he keeps Barcelona in the biggest of competitions. And he won his first title with Barcelona in next to no time. I was surprised that yesterday was the first time that Lamine Yamal actually played football in like more than a month. He suffered an injury, and then after the injury, the holidays came around. He enjoyed himself, of course, the Christmas and the New Year. And then after that, he came back. Yesterday was his first game. And look at the way he played. He played very, very well. Created chances for Barcelona, scored. And whenever he knows that he has got limited time on the pitch, he makes sure that he has his own impact in the game. And that was what he did yesterday. He impacted. He knew, the coach is going to substitute him very early because of the injury. And this is the first game that he's returning. And then he got the job done in next to no time. And he got substituted. 17 goals and assists in 22 games for a 17-year-old is insane. And 2 kudos to Gavi, just like you said, his partner in crime on the pitch. He too did really, really well. And Rafinha too, if he had scored maybe a couple of goals in the game, I think that would have been a 10 over 10 performance. But Barcelona did very, very well yesterday. Pedri too at the center of the park. He did fantastically well. And Pau Kubarsi as well as Inigo Martinez and the goalkeeper too, Chesney. This is his, first big game that he actually, had his chance to play in between the sticks for Barcelona, and he did really well too. I think congratulations to them. But the biggest of jobs is coming in the final. Either Real Madrid or Mallorca qualified. I think Barcelona will have the run for their money in that final, and they will have to do better than what they did yesterday against Athletic Club.
Because they know that if Real Madrid qualifies for final, it's going to be another El Clasico. Even though it's not in the league, this is a Super Cup final. And it's going to be very tough because Ancelotti will come with all his Don style. And also the coach there, Hansi Flick, wants to also show why he's one of the best when it comes to being coach. And the likes of Lamine Yamal, Gavi, watch out for those young lads. They can really, really be very, very treacherous when it comes to football. And for Real Madrid, well, we'll see what happens tonight by the time they face Mallorca. Can they do it? Or Mallorca will actually drop the giant and go fast to face Barcelona? What if Mallorca, against all odds, be the one to actually scoop this particular cup for this year? Anything can happen. You just can't rate any team off. Well, we're talking about the Spanish Super Copa between Barcelona against Athletic Club, where they were able to score 2 goals. Gavi and Lamine Yamal getting those goals there, alongside Jamal Joe, who is also doing the business of talking in the studio, rather via Zoom with us. But right now, let's come back and talk about Nigerian players. We have a story about 2 of them. Right now, let's start with Seydou Sanusi. A good news for Super Eagles, good news for his career. He's back on his feet after a very long layoff that has to do with injury, ACL, acute cruciate ligament injury that he sustained, and he's back to his feet. Seydou Sanusi returns to action for FC Porto after a 1-year injury layoff, even though they lost that game against Sporting, but at least he came back and was able to test his feet to see how ready he is for the season. Good one for Seydou Sanusi. And also for Super Eagles, we know how formidable this player can be as a defender. Now he's back. Nazir.
Seydou Sanusi has done really well for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and I think this is a very good news for the Super Eagles to having him back, because I think he has been one of the consistent performers in the team, playing in that left back role or maybe the full back. However, manager wants to handle him, he always turns up and plays very, very well for the Super Eagles. I can remember his, contribution to the Super Eagles, performance in the Africa Cup Nations, the one that was played last year, and he did well too, helping the team to qualify for the finals. And he did a lot of things for the Super Eagles. I think it's a very good news to have him back. I think it's a wonderful one. We hope to see Super Zaidu Sanusi back in the team too in next to no time. Let him recover and get back to the business, because we have got big games that will be coming our way, and we need all of our best players to be in place to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria under the new coach. And whenever a new coach comes in, it is clean slate for everyone. Let's see what Zaidi Sanusi can offer. If he can't get, to get a chance with Éric Chelle and have his own try in the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Well, seriously, a tough one is going to be for Éric Chelle, because right now we have a lot of talented players scattered abroad, also in Nigeria, and I would love to see if you can give chance to the at least home base Nigeria. I'm talking about the Super Eagles team B, the Chan Eagles, to be able to get playing time with the main Eagles, and also let's see what the competition will be like under this new coach that we have. That has to do with Super Eagles. A lot of attention, and you see the players trying to go for attention because they know what is at stake. The new coaches are, the new man is in charge, and all of them want to put their best. So competition begins there. Zaidi Sanusi, wishing him the best and coming back to play football. That's a good one for him, and at least his career is back to frame, and let's see what he could offer to that team FC Porto and also Super Eagles. Still talking about Super Eagles, we know we have a lot of star players. One of them outstanding, in fact, he just recently dropped the version of African Player of the Year, and he has been in the news for a very long time. PSG, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City. A lot of clubs have been attached to his name. Victor, I call him the Osimhen. As we speak right now, news came out that Liverpool, the team that never walk alone, are really having their radar on him, because their chief scouts are beginning to watch this player as a replacement for Darwin Núñez, who right now is beginning to turn to a player that could be at least notable for surplus to requirement. But right now, Victor Osimhen to Liverpool, Jamajo, this player is the kind of player that can suit almost every club he goes to. So, Liverpool, is he a good place? Or what do you think? Is he going to be Chelsea, PSG, or where? But Liverpool, really, they are putting their radar on Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, I think it's a very good one for a player like Osimhen to have all of these teams, coming for him. And after the struggles he had of leaving Napoli last summer, right now he has got so many clubs, just like you mentioned, PSG, Manchester United, Chelsea, and now Liverpool, all of them wanted to get the signature of Victor Osimhen during the course of the summer, or maybe this January window. For Liverpool, if they get to sign Osimhen, I think it will be a big improvement on Darwin Núñez, because Darwin Núñez is very good at only missing chances. He cannot convert the chances that he has. And one thing with Osimhen is that he can score goals wherever he goes. Just like he went to Galatasaray, he has scored a lot. Just like he has scored for Napoli, powering them to their first title since Diego Armando Maradona, I think, for 30 years. I think that tells you all you need to know about how Osimhen, how good is he when it comes to scoring goals for the teams that he plays for. And for me, if I were him, I would just fancy my chances of going to PSG, because I'll play in the Champions League, play in the Liga, and I'll earn a lot of money over there. And there is a very big, chance for him to go there and play, because even the coach doesn't have so much trust on the players that he has got there, because Carlo Ramos has been struggling to score goals for this team. Randy Olkolomani has been out of the team for quite some time, so there is a big space for him to go there and fill it. If he goes there, I think it will be a very good move for him. And Chelsea too, even if he goes to Chelsea, I think it will be a very good move, because Nicholas Jackson too is only good at missing chances, to be honest with you. Quite all right, he has done well this season when it comes to converting the chances that he has had. It's just of late, I think in the last 4 games that he has started struggle to score goals, and it's not only him, it's the entire team. Yeah, he's doing really well for them in the last couple of from the last season that he joined United. I think he has done well, but Osimhen will be a very big improvement on him. I think John Obi Mikel would not sit down and look at this only to just come and go for his links to Chelsea. I think he has talked about that so much when it comes to Osimhen and Chelsea being involved together. And I think at the end of the day, I will not be surprised if Osimhen ends up playing for Chelsea.
Of course, that's it kind of tilting towards that side, although there's a little you can do because it was almost like it was moving at the last transfer window, but it didn't happen. But hopefully, maybe we'll be going to Chelsea. And like you said, I hope Nicola Jackson will not come for you the way he's coming for Mikel Obi, because this way you are saying he's only good at missing chances. I'm not there. Anyway, talking about Osimhen, Osimhen is very good. Almost all the clubs that are really vying for him, they know how good he is. All of them, anywhere he goes there, should be able to click because he's going to be a topmost striker for all of them. And you mentioned in PSG, well, it's good, he will get it easy there, but he has played it in France before with Lille. Let him just go to Premier League and let's see what he can offer, at least as a topmost striker. That would be a good one, and let's see, especially if you can go to Chelsea or maybe Liverpool, where he can at least prove a lot of points. And you know, Drogba has not hidden his admiration for this young lad, and the fact that Mikel too is also making waves to see how he can get to play for Chelsea, that could go a long way. But for Victor Osimhen, big clubs are really courting to see how they can sign him. And right now, Galatasaray has been a place where he has been able to relaunch himself after all the brouhaha that happened between himself and Napoli last season. And right now, he's getting his act back. He's getting his groove back. Hopefully, let's see what happens. Maybe at the end of the season, then you'll be able to see maybe he's moving to the Blues, the Reds, the Red Devils, the Etihad Stadium, anywhere he wants to move to. We wait to see what will be happening concerning that. And before we go, a big one quickly, just a breaking news then before we go to the studio, that West Ham, they've confirmed the man they wanted, Graham Potter, as the coach or manager of that team. He will be with them for the next 2.5 years. That's his deal he signed, and that's a big one. When news were flying around that after they sacked Lopetegui there, and now they have Graham Potter, who actually was the leading candidate. It has been confirmed as the head coach of West Ham United. 2.5 year deal. Well, that's a good one coming from West Ham to Graham Potter. Jamajo.
Yeah, it is. It is for them. I think it is for them. He has found his level because this kind of jobs is what Graham Potter loves. Because we've seen him at Chelsea, and at Brighton he was doing quite all right. He was doing pretty well, and then he went to Chelsea and things went south. But at West Ham United, I think the expectations will come toe to toe with what he can offer. And at the end of the day, their main focus is to survive and stay in the Premier League. And I think he's going to give them that.
The Hammers are happy now. They've got their man. At least he's been confirmed as a coach. And let's see what he can do, because right now West Ham are not finding themselves in a good position. They're standing 14th on the log. And for a man that coached them for about 22 matches, was able to win only 6, that particular record for Lopetegui is not too smooth. So he joins the frame. That is the 5th coach being sacked this season in the EPL. And now let's see what the man they call Magic One, Graham Potter, what will he be doing with West Ham? Can he turn things around? You remember when he was in Chelsea? Well, he tried his best, and now he's now with West Ham, still in London. Can he turn this around? I can imagine the kind of emotions that will be coming the day we're facing Chelsea. Jamal, you want to agree with me? It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, of course it's going to be. It's going to be. And not only Chelsea, but Brighton too. Because I think his I think his the years that he has had the good years in the Premier League. I think I would Brighton, because at Chelsea it has been struggles. He couldn't get it right over there. And at West Ham United, I think the expectations will come close to what the expectations were at Brighton. So they will not be asking so much from him, just like what he went and saw at Chelsea. Because at Chelsea we are expected to win all of the games, and they are expected to win at least a trophy at the end of the season, and he couldn't give them that. And at the end of the day, even before the end of the season, they hired him. They got him sacked. I think we just have to wait and see what he brings in. But I think if they get to lower their expectation, Graham Potter can keep them in the Premier League, keep them in a very good place without any big thing for them to achieve, because that was what he did at Brighton. No trophies, but he maintained their status in the Premier League, and they keep on playing there. Hopefully, Graham Potter can go ahead and save West Ham United from getting relegated.
Well, let's just see what he can do. At least standing 14th is not too safe, but at least can push them up more to see how he can save them, becoming the Sam Allardyce of West Ham United. Talking about the man of the moment, Graham Potter taking over as the coach or manager of West Ham United over there in London for the next 2.5 years. Let's see if that particular marriage will actually have a long way to go about that. But before we go, just a glimpse on the NBA result before we wrap it up, looking at all the games played earlier today in the NBA, where where a lot of games, we have 8 of them. Let's look at the results. Well, as it is, a lot of games were played. A lot of teams actually participated there. For San Antonio Spurs, they lost against Milwaukee Bucks, 105-121. Denver Nuggets did well convincingly against Los Angeles Clippers, 126 to defeat them to having 103. Portland Trail Blazers, they won that game extra 19 points to defeat New Orleans Pelicans with 100. While Toronto Raptors, what is happening to the Raptors? They've been losing games against New York Knicks, 112. They won that game there. For Brooklyn Nets, it was a swapping of points. Brooklyn Nets taking a cue from Toronto Raptors, having 98 points. Well, they lost against Detroit Pistons, who won by 113. While City Thunder, 122. They lost by 7 points behind Cleveland Cavaliers of Ohio there. Well, Indiana Pacers, 129. Chicago Bulls, 113. As Washington Wizards, despite their wizardry, they lost by 6 points behind Philadelphia 76ers. Just to look at the results of the NBA for those that love the slam and dunk sport of basketball. Well, that'll be it on this show. We just wrap it up. Today we have a feel of what's happening in the world of sport from the entire crew. Trust TV coming from 360 Stable. We want to appreciate you, Naziru Jamajo from Kaduna. Remember the jersey, don't forget.
No problem. I'm fully aware. We'll be working on that, inshallah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time with us. Naziru Jamajo from Kaduna. Well, right now we just have to wrap it up. As well as sport is business and fitness. I'm Akanni Gishafe. Thanks for watching.